Ladies and gentlemen, up next is a special address on innovation in products and solutions. And to deliver that, we have amongst us none other than Rajesh Bansal, CEO, Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Rajesh has been pretty instrumental at influencing the much desired tech oriented changes in Indian BFSI industry. Today, we are joined by him to know more about the innovation in products and solution. Let's welcome him up on the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good afternoon to people in the room and outside the room, I think. It'll take some people to get back from their deserts. But unfortunately, I had a hard stop, so I requested that if we can just start. So very good afternoon. Thank you so much for Financial Express team for inviting me to share some of our work and our thinking on how we at RBIH, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of RBI, how we think of innovation in products and solutions. Again, this is a more general, our urge to the financial sector industry to think of innovation in a very different light. So since the 2 years since our existence, we have launched a number of projects, which you should be able to see on our website and our LinkedIn, but I'll go straight into it. I'm just curious to ensure that you guys don't fall to sleep. I mean, for you, what is innovation? When I took charge, that is the question that I asked myself. What is innovation? Anybody wants to volunteer? What is innovation?
Exponential level. For that, radical changes are required. And radical changes will mean you have to do out-of-box thinking. And that out-of-the-box thinking will only come from innovation. And, RBI has been a very, very fantastic step when it came from our government and our regulator. And I'm very, very confident that, the kind of knowledge they command and the kind of resources they will have at their disposal. And plus, they can bring all the people together. It's going to be a fantastic effort to see, what kind of, innovations will come out of that. And some of them, we are already privy to. KCC has a fantastic product coming out of that. Plus, digital lending stack, we are looking up to it. It gives an opportunity, creates a level playing field, plus gives an opportunity for everybody to come in. So we are very keen. For us, innovation will mean two things: improve and disrupt.
Okay. Thanks. For want of time, I think I'll skip. Sorry, sir, you wanted to. So innovation, see, for different people, it means different things. For some people, it means some shiny new object. But ultimately, that object for whom and why is the question. So the fact is, every incremental thing that we can do better with or without technology, which makes the customer satisfaction go up, that is how we look at innovation. Obviously, there are ways, some people use the words like disruptive. Yes, so that's disruptive technologies. But our view has been that in India especially, we have so many digital tools, the DPI that Indian government has built, that there is so much innovation that is desirable and doable. So I just thought I'll lay it out there. I wish I had more time, but yeah, innovation that failed, interestingly, because we also believe our hypothesis is customer at the center of innovation, which, as our friend said, that so many times we actually miss out the customer who is the final entity or stakeholder who will decide the fate of our product or a solution, right? We think we have a great product, we have a great solution. A lot of our fintech friends come to me and give me an idea. This is what I've thought of, sir. The question I ask them, for whom and what? I mean, have you done enough consumer research to identify that this is a real pain point that we are solving for the consumer? I'll give you a small example from my global work. Kenya, M-Pesa, you all heard of. Why did it take off? Because it solved a real pain point for every Kenyan. The society is so different, unlike in India where the remittance is normally a bilateral remittance to be sent by the husband to the wife. In Kenya, it was an interesting case that being a tribal community, let's say I'm working in Nairobi, I'll be called upon my mom will call me and say, hey, no, Rajesh, this cousin of yours is now going to college and she needs to be funded. So 10 cousins will come together and fund her. Imagine, it was a one-to-many, this thing or many-to-many kind of a disbursement. And when M-Pesa launched, they realized it's really solving the problem. Otherwise, the bus operators were taking money. So because the consumer pain was solved, the adoption was rapid. So we have to look at what is the pain point. Unless the pain point is decided, it's a problem. Let's look at two quick innovations, which are historically very well known. The personal transporter of Segway. It was a great idea, looking at the fact that personal transportation, you don't need to do walking. I'm not sure how good it was because walking is considered to be good, right? Most of us try and do it in the morning. But it didn't go anywhere because of pricing, safety, and a lot of other issues. Google Glass. If some of you will remember, if you are as old as me, Vishek will not remember, he's too young, Google Glass. It was launched with much fanfare. How much did it cost? $1,500. Why did it not go anywhere? Because they did not look at multiple issues, including privacy, where I could record anyone, anything. So all the restaurants, a lot of restaurants in US banned it. That you cannot wear Google Glass and come to, Google Glass and come to my pub or the bar. Because you can discreetly then video record anything. So that is why some of these examples I can go on and on for India also. So the thing is, for us, and my urge to all of you from the financial sector industry, to look beyond solving one part of the problem. Because if we want to solve one part of the problem, let's say if we talk about a credit card, mostly the financial sector will focus on how do I acquire a customer. You spend 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees to acquire a customer. That's mostly what your bosses want to see. But is that the end goal? The end goal is how do you ensure that you allow on-tap credit to a Gen Z, period. That's the problem we want to solve, whether it's by a credit card or whatever. Because I have seen in 3 decades in the financial sector, cards get issued, if you talk about the same example, the pain to get the PIN, the first step of the card itself is not sorted. I can name bank after bank. We have done a study. What does it take to get a card PIN issued and reissued? I think some of you appreciate the challenge. So then what are we solving? Is just issuing a card? No, we want to solve for a larger picture. I can talk about a number of examples, including the flagship project that our friend spoke about, but I will desist from that. Customer centricity, obviously the key in innovation for entrepreneurs. Whether it's a company like Google or multiple other companies which have failed, Napster, right? It has failed. AOL, it has failed. MySpace eventually gave way. Google had, I'm forgetting one of those Facebook equivalent, what was that? Yeah. So that also did not go anywhere because it did not evolve with the time. They thought, I have a best solution, let's continue with it, without realizing that the world is moving on. You have to keep changing the way you offer the product to people. So focus on 3 things, that's what we do. Mostly supply side driven is what we have seen in the financial sector industry. This is the product I have, take it or leave it. I can honestly tell you 2 years as the CEO of RBI Innovation Hub, more and more I am convinced this is where most of the problem lies. So I was addressing a board of a large private sector bank and they asked me for my advice. I said, no, all of you are so senior, just a simple piece of advice. Can you stand outside, if this is your bank, can you stand outside and look in? For any customer, corporate, mid-corporate, retail. I said, once you start doing that, and I'm not berating our banking friends or, financial sector, the challenge is we are so embedded in that, you're part of that system that I'll give another example. We work with another large private bank. My 25-year-old person came to me one day and said, sir, why is it that I'm able to think of these things and the bank, they are too agile, everything they can't. I told him a simple thing, because they are inside the system, they can't think, to use the cliche, out of the box. So my 25-year-old person, Varun and Abhishek, honestly, with due regards to everybody in the banking sector, they are not bankers. They are not financial sector guys. But they look at it as a customer. And that is why they are able to look inside and offer solutions. Data-centric. This is another thing that we have seen in the last 1 decade. Data, data, data. Point is, just being data-centric can only get you this far unless you use that data to give benefits or to offer a seamless experience to a customer. That is where customer centricity is very important. Again, complicated. We did an analysis of number of banking and fintech apps, top 10 in both. How many of you would rate, your bank or your fintech, whichever entity you use, your financial sector app, investment insurance? Where would you rate it? Just a quick survey. 1 out of 10. Where would you rate your app? Anyone? And look beyond your bank, please. Huh? I know all of us will rate our bank as 9 or 10. My bank, a large private bank again, this is the third private bank. I've spoken about 3 examples, this is the third one. I wouldn't give them more than 5 out of 10. Supposed to be very agile, very dynamic, digital first approach. The app is the same for last 10 years. When I log in, I get the same menu for the last 10 years. I get the same pre-approved loan of 10 lakh rupees for the last 10 years. Guys, seriously? Don't you know how I operate? What are the menu that I use? Why can't we have an adaptive menu? Why can't we have a decluttered menu? Why can't we have better schematics, a better iconography? But unfortunately, and that is where another large public sector bank, only 7% of customers use digital channels. Because we had to really ask the bank, when they first told us 25%, then we dig deeper, which channel? We realized they're counting ATM also as a channel. I said, please, let's talk about digital only, that is mobile and internet banking, only 7%. Now look at the efficiency that you are offering. You have 100 customers, only 7 of them use mobile app. Or, Mr. Padi is there, I'm sure he will have that data in his, or for his bank. And then we talk about high cost. We talk about customer satisfaction. We talk about migration of customers to new generation. Because my mother has a pension account in one bank and one more public sector bank where my company has an account. I'm sure a lot of you will relate to it. I stopped using internet banking because the interface of internet banking is so cluttered. For me to even log in, first of all, there are 3 passwords. Log in, this password, this password, this password. So every time I have to take out some notebook to see, okay, what is this password? But that doesn't happen with other banks. And then if I lose password, it's another headache. And to find a menu, once I'll give you an example for, my mom was in US, this is a real life example. And this bank had launched foreign remittances through net banking. Like, great. For 15 minutes, I tried to find where is the menu. I asked my office, maybe I can't see that menu, it's somewhere there. I had to call up the GM Forex to ask, can you tell me where is that? Sir, go to this, within this, go to this, within this. I'm like, seriously? You have launched a new, internet banking facility. Why do you have it embedded somewhere where I really spent 20 minutes trying to find it? And mind you, I'm not a digital native, obviously, I'm old enough. But come on, I've been using the banking apps and everything for 20 years. So, because it's not simple and interactive. But please look at the power. I'm not sure of the composition of the audience here. If we focus on demand-driven, customer-centric and simplicity, you'll yourself observe how the consumer automatically, the offtake happens. Why does everybody want a smartphone? Why does my 2-year-old niece can find her video on YouTube? I have a video of that. 1.5 years old, she figured out where to go. And then she realized she was the wrong one. She pressed the home button, came back and again went in. I'm like, this is, because it's so simple, right? So example of this thing, obviously we know why UP has taken off. Because it was designed with customer at the center, the digital native at the center. My young team, if you tell them, if I give them a check and ask them to deposit that check, I'm telling you 50% of them will not know what to do with the check. Some of us with gray hair or no hair obviously know what a check is, how does it work. I have surveyed it, mind you. My wife's friend called up to say my IIT graduate son has got a check and he's struggling about what to do with it. This is real life. I'm like, seriously, he doesn't know what to do with the check because there is a challenge. But UPI, he will use it like this. And imagine UPI of that bank going down. I'm sure the 20s, the Gen Z, which I'll talk about, think that the life has ended because they can't do anything beyond UPI, right? So some of these things, and obviously subscription based, their thing is, why do I need to buy when I can subscribe? Whether it is the RO filter. When I moved to Bangalore from Delhi about 1.5 years ago, obviously I'm old generation RO filter. My people are telling me, sir, filter क्यों खरीदना है? मैंने कहा फिर पानी कहाँ से आएगा? Sir, वो एक company है, I think why I'm forgetting the name. I deliberately don't want to tell you the name. I remember the name. They just subscribe to it. They pay some 200, 300. There is some 2,000 liters of water free. Other day I shifted a house. They were saying, sir, please move to that. Why do you still get the big Bisleri bottle? Subscription works best. We belong to the AquaGuard era, right? Some of us, not all of you. Gen Z, which is going to be one of the most important consumers in this decade. They need simple and intuitive. UPI, they just use it. They are a smartphone native. They are a digital native. So for all of us to see why we need to have new solution, new way of thinking, for our business to prosper, Gen Z is the example. Personalized. They have a music app. My concept told me don't use a name of a music app. Huh? I was using it. They said don't use the name. Music app, which is so cool. They know on a Sunday morning, rainy day, it will recommend the right set of songs to you. That's what this Gen Z needs. And for our business to prosper, we need to be able to do that. Transparency. No hidden charges, no too many asterisks and something. Once they realize that you are not transparent about billing and charges, trust is very, very important. For us to build a business for Gen Z, this will be 2 out of 5 consumers. We need to focus on transparency. Rewards loyalty. Yes, my generation used to credit card rewards, but they used to different kind of rewards, which they get, if you use this, or use YXYZ. Yeah, the other day again, one of my young team came to me and said, sir, I've got a medal and a 500 rupee voucher. I'm like, what for? She opened it and said, sir, it is for that drinking water thing, and I will refer you, I'll get another 500. She was excited. This is true. You have to reward, small rewards matter to the Gen Z. Understanding the new age customer, an exciting level of engagement and satisfaction. We're talking about an Instagram native generation. I hope some of Instagram natives are here. I'm sure, not too sure. So Instagram natives, unless we understand how they think, how will we reinvent or innovate in finance, in products and solutions? They want everything the way they want, not the way we want to give the services. As I give the example, we publish an op-ed in Financial Express. It's like building a playlist. The music I want, the way I want, when I want, how I want. As simple as that. This is what this generation needs for us to be relevant in the financial sector. We need to innovate on those lines. There's a few more minutes. There's a potential to do more. Adaptive menus. Please look at the right. Fact that my financial sector provider knows that Rajesh, when he logs into his app, invariably does A, B, C. Why is the menu static for me and for everybody else? Why can't we think of an adaptive menu based on my transactions? Right? So that is our adaptive menu. On-demand services, not necessarily the prepaid card, mind you. We can make it very easy for a consumer to ask for any service that they want. Conversational AI. A lot of my friends tell me that, Rajesh, you're old school because they think conversational AI, luckily thanks to ChatGPT, is different. This is Gen AI. They think we are talking about a chatbot. And I know a lot of us have experimented with static chatbots a decade ago, nothing worked. But today it's a different world. Today, I don't want to call a call center. I was a call center guy, but the young generation, they basically want to talk to some bot who will smartly answer their queries. So it will require a lot of work by us in the financial services sector, and we are trying to build a coalition of banks to work together. So that you need more and more data to build smarter, conversational AI, voice recognition. Again, Google, Facebook, everybody tells you voice is the next big thing. So we have started some work looking at how voice, Tamil, Telugu, whatever, you can talk to your bank, talk to your app, and do whatever you want. And today, Government of India has, last year launched Bhashani project, AI for Bharat. So we're working with some of the banks in this room to make that happen. That for adoption of digital tools, you need to talk to your bank. Right? There is enough data. I don't want to share seamless experience across channels. What happens is if I have a problem, I call a call center, and then I go to my app. My app doesn't know I filed a complaint. Then I go to my branch has no clue what is happening in my complaint. Can we create an integrated CRM, if you want to use that word, to ensure that consumer can leave here, join here, but know the same experience, can get a sense of what is my grievance ka status, as simple as seamless, a very good UI, UX, and accessible in multiple languages. How can we decide what innovation to prioritize? Obviously, look at the who, the customer. Whether Gen Z, senior citizen, another example is senior citizen 15G, 15H. How many of you ever filed a 15G, 15H? Anybody? But most of the bankers are there, know what a 15G, 15H is. Why is it that most of us still offer a 15G, 15H that you have to go to your home branch or at least physically go to the branch? We said, why can't you offer an omni-channel way to present, to give your 15G, 15H for tax deduction? And luckily, thanks to our partner banks, including Union Bank, Canara Bank, Axis Bank, we have launched that you can file your 15G, 15H over WhatsApp, over text, and without having an internet banking account, they can request anybody to go to the browser, OTP verification, that can happen. Just a very simple innovation, but it's helping, lots of senior citizens. What is the solution? We could have thought of some shiny new idea. We thought, what is the problem? The senior citizens have to go. What is the tool that they use? They use WhatsApp or they at least have a phone. In that case, just do it as simple as that. No big innovation in that way. And obviously a business model because it's easier for the bank. Some of the branches in which retired people mostly stay, you should see the crowd that comes on the 1st of April. That is just after annual closing. It's not easy. So it makes business sense for the banks and makes sense for everybody, including a digital verification. With this, I'll just stop. How important is fintechs and financial sector achieving a $5 trillion economy? Finance is the bedrock or Aadhaar of an economy. India offers a unique opportunity to financial service providers to create a $5 trillion economy and future $10 trillion economy. For that, we have the best digital rails, the best payment rails, smartphone users, digital natives, lowest data rates in the world. I can go on and on. We have built ONDC. What more can we want? We are a lucky country where the digital public infrastructure, where the government has enabled all of us. Let's leverage that to create a $5 trillion economy and create business for us. With this, I'll stop. Thank you. Maybe time for one question, then I'll have to rush. Sorry about that. One question, anyone? But feel free. That's our, this thing. And on LinkedIn, you can text me. I always answer. My team will connect. We would like to work with all of you to make real innovation happen in this country. And so that your business prospers, the customers benefit, and the positive externality, the economy will grow, which help all of us grow. With this, I'll come to an end. Thank you so much.